Growing up, games weren't the only thing that held our interest. While exploring vast lands and tackling quests was fun in its own right, sometimes we had to put that controller down to pick another one up. With one press of a button on this other controller, we could put the exploring on autopilot and simply just watch. And boy, were some of those adventures grand. What started out with a blue bomber eventually spanned to creatures, more creatures, what I thought at the time was wrestling with flying involved, actual wrestling, samurai, warriors, pirates, ninja, nose-hair aficionados, and giant robots. Lots and lots of giant robots. The older I got and the more I watched, I started to notice a trend. A trend that acted as a cornerstone for a majority of these shows. The hero starts humble, is presented with a journey that they are hesitant to pursue, gets roped into it anyways, makes friends along the way, runs into some conflict which they overcome, gets stronger because of that, returns to their beginning, and then it ends. If it's sounding a lot like a monomyth pulled straight from Joseph Campbell's The Hero with 1,000 Faces, that's because it is. And though the new worlds we experienced kept things from being boring, the progression of stories just got tiresome. And then One Punch Man came along and saved the day. Literally the tale of a man too strong for his own good. The series follows hobbyist hero Saitama's everyday life while he searches for a worthy opponent. In comparison to the monomyth, all the following is true of the series. Where normally we see a hero setting out on an adventure, we see a hero already having returned. We're seeing supporting characters who help us identify with the hero, we see supporting characters who ultimately amount to nothing. We're seeing specific conflict for the hero to overcome, we see conflict en masse because there's nothing left for the hero to overcome. Where we see a hero growing stronger, we see a hero having already reached the pinnacle of strong. There's no epic quest, and barely any character development, but there is one plain main character who may just be the most relatable to everything we've ever seen. Much like the name of the series implies, the main character, Saitama, could end any fight in a single punch. Most of the time, this is the case, but since he's always holding back immensely, some of his opponents manage to last a few hits. While this may sound like it's an extreme example of the overcoming conflict portion of the monomyth, it's how the show portrays it that makes it unique. Saitama does not enjoy his fights. He never feels threatened even though it looks like he's taking the beating of the millennium. He's so bored of experiencing the same thing over and over again that he sometimes just outright puts his opponent down before they can even throw an attack. Even in the face of a villain's ultimate attack, he doesn't bat an eye. And this struck something in me. It made me feel as if I were Saitama, as if he's a personification of the exhausted viewer who always sees the same thing over and over again. And it's not just the main character who spotlights these conventions. In the series, a majority of the time, the side characters are defeated by the villains. This builds the villains up and gets them close to obtaining their goal. It's then that Saitama comes in and defeats the villain with ease. A standard go-to approach that we've seen countless times. Here, however, it leaves such a shock that even bystanders begin to question the point of these side characters. Some of the side characters are obvious archetypes. In particular, Moomin Rider, the cyclist for justice, is the overcome all odds because of willpower archetype we often see in the main character slot. What makes him unique despite it, and how he breaks that archetype, however, is that he understands his limits. Regardless, he holds a philosophy of heroic tropes, even though we've seen him soundly defeated. The villains, too, are a subject of scrutiny. The more serious villains are shown to be frustrated and frightened of Saitama's strength. Some go as far to question why. It definitely highlights the linear archetypes that villains have fallen into, and gets us as viewers to also question why. After all, does it really have to be that way? And that goes for any of these things. One Punch Man is tackling these issues by raising all the right questions, and seemingly daring people to break not only these long since stale archetypes, but to break from the cycle of the monomyth. And that is why we love it. But now that we sucker punched all of you, we'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this topic. What do you love most about One Punch Man? Do you enjoy the way it pokes fun at most of the shows out there that are the same at the roots of it all? And most importantly, and also totally off topic, but in a three-way brawl between Goku, Saitama, and Chuck Norris, who would come out on top? We'll just let you fistfight about that in the comments below. Do you like the One Punch Man sprites you saw in this video? Andrew is the mastermind behind them. He was a huge help on this video, so please check out some of his other amazing work on his DeviantArt. I've put a link in the description below. A huge shout out to Virix Dreamcore as well. They produced the amazing track featured in this video. Thanks for tuning in to our stereotypical episode of One Punch Man. If you'd like to join us on our YouTube voyage and take part in our 100 push-up challenge, then the subscribe button is just what you're looking for. Thanks for watching, guys and gals, and until our next video, cheers. You've made it to the end of the video, but wait, your quest isn't over yet. We tried something a bit new with this video, so we hope you enjoyed it. If you're curious to see what we've been up to, be sure to check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr. Regardless, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of our videos.